Today we take a closer look at Lands of Evershade. As the Gamefound campaign progresses, more details are revealed. We've eagerly absorbed all the information available out there and are ready to release our video amongst the content that will be released in the upcoming weeks. There is one important difference though. We're fellow gamers just like you, looking for the best game out there, seeking for the best value for money and avoiding being swept by hype or FOMO. We're honored that you're checking out our independent channel to learn more about our unbiased opinion on Lands of Evershade. Because, let's be honest, while the production quality of Awaken Realms are top tier, the gameplay sometimes lacks a bit of innovation or balance. Let's discuss whether this applies to this preview today. The campaign for Lands of Evershade launched on Gamefound on November 14th, 2024. This video was created during the campaign, and the campaign initially offered two pledge levels, a standard edition priced at $79 and a special edition featuring deluxe components and miniatures priced at $119. During the campaign, additional content was released and even higher tier pledge levels became available. Lands of Evershade combines character building, a branching narrative, skill checks and tactical combat. I would categorize Lands of Evershade as a streamlined board game adaptation of a classic D&D campaign. While it lacks the heavy role-playing elements and the need for a dungeon master, most other core elements are still there. I think Awaken Realms did an excellent job translating D&D into a board game format. Now, this might sound as if I'm already sold on Lands of Evershade, but as a matter of fact, I'm still undecided. I see a lot of potential, but I also notice some lack of depth in gameplay, which I'll elaborate on later in this video. Luada, a godly figure, shields the lands from the obliterating sun, whose rays bring both doom and power. This mysterious lance sets the scene for a modular adventure divided into multiple bite-sized campaigns lasting 10 to 15 hours. The story of Lands of Evershade was written by Krzysztof Piskorski, who also created the narratives for Isis Vanguard and Tainted Grail. His signature style is clearly recognizable in Lands of Evershade. The story is original, but also feels vaguely familiar due to the excellent balance between narrative and gameplay, as well as the encouragement for exploration. The intriguing story is supported by stunning artwork and, in case of the special edition, great looking minis. Awaken Realms lives up to their reputation by adding a lot of eye candy to the game, but there's also a large amount of cardboard components. Due to the nature of the game, this will probably be fine for Lands of Evershade, but we've seen quite some wear and tear with deck builders like Etherfields and Tainted Grail. You might want to consider the Hero of Evershade's pledge, which replaces the cardboard tokens with acrylic ones, though this upgrade comes at a steeply cost of $219. Additionally, sleeving your cards is a great way to extend the game's lifespan. And if we are to believe Awaken Realms game's description, it is longevity you're looking for. The game has multiple paths to explore with different races, characters and occupations. Character creation and development play a significant role in Lands of Evershade because the game mimics role-playing elements and gives you plenty of freedom to customize characters to your liking. Once a campaign is finished, the game entices you to replay the game with a different character. Depending on the character and the choices you make, certain keywords will apply to your character. These keywords are often referenced throughout the story and can influence gameplay and the checks you need to make. For example, a character with the thieving keyword will have a higher probability of successfully picking a lock. Dice checks are the central mechanic in Lands of Evershade. Your skill level determines the number of dice you can roll for the test. The difficulty level requires you to roll a certain result. For instance, a warrior can roll 3 dice to hit the enemy on a result of an 8 or higher. The story serves as the backbone of the game, tying everything together. While it might seem like an odd comparison, Lands of Evershade somewhat resembles a Mario Party game. Mario Party is a digital board game that lets players compete in various mini-games. Lands of Evershade operates in a similar principle, weaving together different types of mini-games. You can chase an enemy, solve a puzzle, or engage in tactical combat. Lands of Evershade is cleverly structured, offering a plethora of gameplay elements, but in the end most of them lead up to rolling dice. One might wonder if this is truly groundbreaking in the board game genre. When I first started considering whether I like Lands of Evershade, I was a bit disappointed. At first glance, I didn't see any groundbreaking innovations, but the more I delved into the game, the more I began to appreciate it. One thing I overlooked is Awaken Realms' successful adaptation of a role-playing game. They've managed to create a well-structured game that offers all kinds of scenarios without overly complex mechanics. An impressive feat that isn't immediately obvious. My biggest concern, however, is whether these gameplay elements are as compelling on their own as something like Tainted Grail. Overwhelming players with different scenarios sounds like fun, but do these scenarios stand up as good games by themselves? In the end, everything comes back to rolling dice, and I'm still not completely convinced that this is something I enjoy. So, I haven't decided whether I'll back Lands of Evershade yet. There's definitely some FOMO involved here, but I still have some pondering to do in the upcoming days. I can certainly see why people are drawn to Lands of Evershade. This might be the most polished adventure game Awaken Realms has ever created. And if you don't already own a lot of campaign games, you should seriously consider backing it. However, if you're a veteran campaign player with an overflowing library of unwrapped games, just like us, it's less clear whether this is one of the must-haves. Without a doubt, Lands of Evershade will deliver an epic and enjoyable adventure. However, I'm not entirely convinced it offers enough depth or truly unique mechanics. I could really use your help here. Please leave a comment on this video and tell me what you like or dislike about Lands of Evershade. And while you're at it, please give a thumbs up and even consider subscribing to the channel. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.